What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party.
1, 2, 3 in the place to be. You are now checking out the world's best podcast, The People's Party, with myself, Talib Kweli, and I will take the Pepsi challenge with any of you motherfuckers. That's right. The world's best podcast is in the house, and we are in Las Vegas because I am still on the New York State of Mind tour. Shout out to Nas, shout out to Wu-Tang Clan, shout out to De La Soul, rest in peace Dave, De La Soul forever. New York State of Mind is stomping through the territories. We're having a wonderful time, and because I'm in Vegas, the work can't stop. So I hollered at my homeboy who lives in Las Vegas. And my homeboy who lives in Las Vegas happens to be one of the greatest rappers of a generation. He's from the golden era. You know, he's from the era that I came in. Like when I came in, I was listening to this man's music, and then he became one of my peers as an integral member of one of the greatest hip hop groups, the Alkaholiks, along with J-Ro and E Swift. He came out on the scene mixing lyrics with party anthems. The shit was hard. 21 and Over, Make Room, all that hard shit. One of my favorite albums of all time, Coast to Coast in 1995. Damn, a great song. Next we had Liquidation. Next we had the XO Experience. This is a group that started out from the West Coast, but soon became loved and beloved by all facets of hip hop, all over every region. He didn't just stop there at the group. The solo work is impeccable. Rap Life is a solo album. A distinctive voice, witty with the punchlines, and MC's MC, from going on stages all over the globe to sitting here with us on the People's Party in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise and show your love for one of the Liquid Crew MCs in the house, the West Coast's very own Rico Catastrophe, the homie in the place to be. What up?
What's up, man? How you doing, Talib? Hey, long time no see, bro. How
Good
you
to
been?
see you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, but
yeah. When's the last time I seen you?
I can't even remember. That's how long it's been. I want to say I can't remember.
Okay. Well, I want to start out with one of your bars off of one of your later projects, Sky's the Limit. And you have a bar that says, I love it when I hear this new generation rap because y'all make me sound good. That's the generation gap. I relate to that bar on a real deep, guttural level. You know what I'm saying? Break down that bar for me.
It's kind of self-explanatory. I said, I love it when I hear this new generation rap because y'all make me sound good. That's that generation gap. Basically, I was just saying that when I wrote that bar, I think I was just listening to a lot of music that didn't inspire me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what the gap was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I wasn't picking up what they was putting down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just threw that in there to, have fun with some bars. But, no disrespect to, the real ones out there and everything. But I just think that a lot of rappers, they don't really take it serious no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw something online where people were complaining about the sales of hip hop being down by 40%. And I made a little bit of fun of it on my Instagram because I was like, for me, I can't tell because what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? One, sales never mattered. And also, like I mentioned, I'm on the New York State of Mind tour. And granted, I'm coming out as an opener on this tour. But up to see Nas and Wu-Tang and these iconic groups do that level of production and that level of arena and still carrying the flag like that, I know for a fact in my business, legacy acts are doing better in those arenas than the newer acts. And it's not even a fault of the newer acts, right? Because the whole way you pay your dues is different. So they don't have to pay their dues touring and doing the same type of live shows like how we used to do. And the way that people consume music is different.
Right.
People don't buy albums like that. People streaming now. So, I mean, of course the sales would be down.
Right, but the whole thing is that I think that, am I tripping or did this 50-year hip-hop, the anniversary of this really let people know that the real hip-hop is what you want to hear?
Yeah, you're not tripping at all.
Like, I was tripping because with the Alkaholiks, we was, I had I shut it down for about 2 years, right during the pandemic. Then right after that, I snapped out of it. But, I had to do some, what do you call it, some
wellness.
Yeah, I had to break a couple bad habits that I had and everything. But I I just noticed that this year we've been getting booked like crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Alcoholics and King T catching shows, and Exhibit Stay on the Road. Everybody that came up with us was heavily booked this year, and I just hope it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? And you on the Nas Wu-Tang, or it don't get no bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So, really, man.
I appreciate you saying that. I feel the same way.
Yeah, that's what's up.
We should appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, everybody who followed my career know that I started my career with High Tech from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm spending a lot of time in Ohio these days. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in Ohio.
Shout out to the O.
You and E. Swift as well, right? Are from Columbus, Ohio.
Nah, Swift was in Toledo. I mean, he's from Toledo.
Okay, he's from Toledo.
I'm from Columbus, though. Shout out to always to the dime.
Yeah, they call Ohio the middle of it all. How did growing up there influence your musical journey?
Like, a lot of people know this and a lot of people don't, but Ohio's like known for the funk, you know what I'm saying? And, some of your favorite artists. My dad was a singer. He was in a group called the Chandlers, so it's in my uncles, you know what I'm saying? That was the group, my uncles and my dad. And, so the music has always been in me, but I just think that that Ohio was a funky place, you know what I'm saying? That's why I got into like the West Coast sound, Battle Cat, and the Redman albums and everything, because I was born into the funk. You know what I'm saying? So that's what really that's why I think that like me and Jay, first song when we first met, he rapped totally different than me. But they kept egging me on, like, you should do a song with him, and da-da-da-da-da. We did a couple songs, and it ended up being a demo, you know what I'm saying? But we were just working and shit. But the first song we did was called I Gets Funky,
Okay.
And we looped Zap, you know what I'm saying? Ohio.
Yeah, that Roger, man.
Yeah, Roger and everything.
Yeah, man.
And
shout out to Steve Arrington as well.
I think that influenced E. Swift to produce a lot of the songs that you hear with that funk element. Yeah. That everybody likes.
Everybody likes, yeah. East to West.
Yeah.
On one of your songs, the book song, Chapter 1. Beautiful songs. Thank you for being that open. And you share personal stories about your family. Kind of for the first time, if I could remember, that you did that really in your career, right?
What, opened up about some shit?
Yeah, on that song.
But see, really, that song was really just a skit. You know what I'm saying?
It was short.
I just wanted to tell people I was born in Columbus, Ohio. I moved to LA when I was 13, and this and that. And that's what that really did. I was going to do different chapters to the book. And then I did that, and I just didn't like that album. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't like that album?
I didn't like the way, because it was like when computers and shit started coming in and all this type of shit. Some of the rappers that was on it sent me the song, and I'm used to, you know what I mean, being in the studio with them and all that.
Yeah, he was trying to make a product.
Yeah, and on top of that, E. Swift didn't do the majority of the production, so, he was doing something else with I don't know what he was doing at that time.
But you mentioned on that song that your mom used to work for Al Green, or work with Al Green.
Yeah.
And that's ill. A lot of people don't know that about you.
Yeah, I don't just run around telling people that shit, but, it's like, my mom, she was best friends with Al's wife, Lou Dean. So she had a son named Norman. That's Al's, I don't want to say his oldest. Is his oldest? I don't know. But me and him grew up together because my mom worked for him and he was the same age as me. So, the band members, Teeny and all them, rest in peace, and other band members take time babysitting us and, we was on the tour buses at an early age and, I ain't talked to Al in a long time, but, I hear he's still doing his thing, so I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that you too old to rap shit. Al Green, he got to be 70. He got a show Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So,
You could go see him at the church on Sunday morning after the show. Now, you're an amazing MC. And I've been listening to your rhymes for a long time. And something that's very interesting about your style that I heard you say once is that you didn't really necessarily come up writing to the beat. You're writing a cappella.
No, I did. I started, when I started, I used to write to the beat.
Okay.
But see, I don't think it's shit that quick. So basically what happened was I started out listening to E. Swift bang out beats every single day, right? So when you get a beat from Swift, he gonna put it on the CD, put it on the cassette back then. Or he's just gonna hit the drum machine. And when you hear shit over and over and over, that's me. I think I got ADD or something. I don't know what they diagnosed it or whatever, but I just can't sit and listen to the same thing over and over and over and think, you know what I'm saying? It's like it get monotonous to me and everything. So when I did one song where I went outside and I walked around the block or something like that, and I could just hear the beat in my head, but I could think, you know what I'm saying? So ever since then, I just never wrote to the beat again.
See, now that's interesting to me because I'm the exact opposite.
Why?
I started out writing like that without the beat. And my style developed like that. Like my earlier stuff, you listen to my earlier work, it's more wordy, it's more intricate, it's more loquacious. Because I was writing in notebooks.
Yeah, loquacious. Where you
know
get
what I'm
that
saying?
from? I ain't never heard that in my life. You just made that up. They don't know what loquacious.
Google it, get your Googles.
Loquacious.
Loquacious.
Spell it.
L-O...
Nah, don't spell it. You gonna fuck it up.
It has a Q in there somewhere, Q-U in there somewhere. But yeah, it was my style. I was not writing to the beat. And then when I became a professional MC, I learned how to write to the beat. Now it's a mix of both. You know, I do both now. But there was a time when I felt like, okay, I need to learn how to write to these beats because if I learn how to write to these beats, I can make better songs. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I got the beat in my head. I gotta see what I used to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got a metronome in my head where if Swift give me the beat is right there. So I'll just think of the rap and this and that.
Right.
And then I'll play the beat and match it I'll force it in there and I say, okay, I gotta take a word out here. Gotta take a word out there. I just can't have the shit because you know with the West Coast, we known for that bass and you know what I mean? Your eardrums is going, but your head is going boom, boom, boom. Like how the hell do you think? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, people trip off that because when a producer play me a beat and I like it, I tell them, I'll be like, I like that. Make me a copy of that. I'll be back. And I just go outside, go to the car, and I have it on deck. So when I write some shit, now I write my phone. It took me a while to get. I was writing.
Yeah, I write on my phone too.
I was writing with a pen and a pad till about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
If I could get my hand on a pen and a pad, I'd probably still write it. Yeah, I feel you. Now, speaking of writing and speaking of Columbus, let's talk about Bow Wow for a second.
Oh, here we go.
Shout out to Bow Wow.
Shout out to Bow Wow, man.
Now, I've heard the story that Bow Wow's first rhyme that he used to go around spitting and the rhyme that he blew up on spitting, you wrote that.
It's documented because the whole thing is this. I'm not going to, I've only told this one other time and I felt weird because the way I said it sound like I want to thank you or I wanted some money or I don't want nothing, but just him to know the real story is that like basically his dad, rest in peace to DJ Wiz, rest in peace DJ Wiz out of Columbus, Ohio. I used to come back from LA every summer, see my grandparents and you know, just kick it with just in my neighborhood, that I grew up in. And DJ Wiz, basically, I guess he knew Bow Wow's pops, but Wiz used to do all these mixtapes and shit. So I came back from LA to Columbus and I had a mixtape. I mean, I had I don't know if it was a demo or mixtape. He used to put my songs that me and Swift used to do, he used to put them on his mixtapes and shit like that. So, you know, you got a little kid and he's, you know, in the back seat in the car and everything. He's driving in the school, driving in this. I guess he used to play it so much that the little kid memorized it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I guess Snoop came to Columbus. I don't know what was said at when he introduced himself, it said my son raps. I'm saying Bow Wow's pops got up on Snoop and introduced him and said, my son raps and whatever. I wasn't there for that part, you know what I'm saying? But Wiz called me and said, hey, man, I was standing there, man. The nigga, he said your shit like this. And I was, because he wasn't signed yet, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just laughed it out. I said, okay, that's cool, you know, whatever. I'm in LA just minding my business, right? Then he called me back and said, hey, Rick, you know, it's a 3-hour time difference, man. I just saw it, man. He said, watch Arsenio Hall tonight. And I said, what's going on? He said, just watch Arsenio Hall. And I watched it. And Snoop was introducing this little rapper from Columbus, Ohio, named Little Bow Wow. He's like 7 or 6 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He was just big, the little jersey. And he came out there and said my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, me and Swift was on the couch like, what? Because Swift did the beat to the song that they heard.
Right.
And shit. And so, you know, the bottom line is all I know is that was my shit. You know
Yeah.
So after that, I was trying to get in touch with him saying, look, we might be the only 2 rappers from Columbus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bone Thugs, they from Cincinnati or from
Cleveland, yeah.
I said, look, man, I was trying to reach out to him just to tell him to, you know what I mean? This is after he was already Bow Wow, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to tell him this story at a party one time. He had security and shit with him. And it wasn't a good idea, you know what I'm saying? I was drunk as hell. I was drunk and funny. Look, I was just rushing up with him. And really, I just wanted to tell him the story, but then the security started doing all this shit and everything. I just said, you know what? I'll tell you later.
So what's funny to me, I think that's an amazing story off top, right? And when I heard you tell that story, when I was watching, you didn't seem bitter at all. You didn't seem like you was asking for no money or nothing. There's none of that, and none of that type of energy. But for me, it's funny because when I first got on Twitter, Bow Wow used to hit me. And he used to hit me like, "Yo, OG, like I fuck with your rhymes, and we, you know, I like we should get together and we should work on some shit." I was like, "Cool." So he hit me when he came to New York, and I brought him to the studio. And Bow Wow, he was Shad Moss by this time. I think he was trying to do the Shad Moss thing, and he was in the studio in Brooklyn, smoking weed, drinking, talking about how niggas do not respect his pen.
His pen?
His pen.
Oh, okay, well.
And I saw him, and we sat there, we did a couple songs together, and I watched this man write rhymes. And he wrote some dope-ass rhymes.
I ain't say he didn't write rhymes, he just ain't write that one, nigga.
No, I know that. But for me,
he
it's
write
funny.
The one he was on Arsenio with.
Right. For
and
me,
then on top of that, let me say one thing about that. If you listen to what he said on Arsenio, he was saying grown man shit. He was like 5 when
he was saying nigga on Arsenio. It was crazy.
The first line of that song, because he's so little, you can't really hear him clearly.
Right, he said nigga. I heard it clearly.
Yeah, I said because the song is called Styles, and I break down all these different styles in one rap. So that's what he's saying. So he said, "Style 1, nigga, because I'm conscious as a Nubian."
He's conscious as a Nubian.
Then it said something as a Nubian, and then the system trying to do me in is the next line. Like, what system, nigga? You 7. You know what I'm saying?
You doing multis and shit.
The whole thing is that I got into contact. I think the Wiz, rest in peace, or somebody got me in contact with his pops. And as soon as I was drunk. I think he was drunk. We got on the phone. And as soon as I got on the phone with his dad, it was like all bad vibes. Like if I was calling to ask for some money or something like that. And I was just like, "What's up?" I just want to know how you got your hands on that rap on the artist. You know what I mean? It went left. It went left, and I just left it alone.
I think you should leave it alone, and I think that's the right energy to deal with it.
I didn't bring it up.
For me, it's hilarious because I'm like, I want to know at what point in your career do you go from being micromanaged and being put upon like you gonna say this and this is what we gonna do to you being like fuck that. No, I'm gonna do my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like you see, he's a little kid back then. There was
I don't know how old he was.
I met him. When I met him, he was a grown man with movies and albums, success under his belt, who was like, "Yo, niggas need to take me more seriously." You know what I'm saying?
I never met him, so it's none but love, man.
Yeah, shout out to Bow Wow. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio, definitely. Yeah. But let's take it to the West Coast and talk about King T, the legend of King T.
My mentor.
Your mentor. He's the first person to take you on tour. You said that on the song, on Killing It. You were going to give him the car because he opened up the doors and took a nigga on tour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Shout out King T, man.
King T changed everybody's life because, really, realistically, see, the whole thing was that people don't know this shit. Some people do, some people don't, but realistically, King T used to be J-Ro's DJ.
Yeah, I heard that once.
Yep. And so King T eventually moved on and he started crack. We met King T right when he dropped Bass. That's when me and Swift came around. And how we got, that's why I say God is here. God is incredible, man. Because realistically, I don't think we'd be sitting here if E Swift didn't go over King T's house to cut his hair one day. And I don't know what happened with King T's DJ, because I heard...
Wait, don't gloss over that having barber skills is a very important part of our community. Yeah. And that's how, word gets spread around.
And I want to say this, E Swift cuts hair way better than he makes beats. So.
Wait, hold on now. Hold on. No, we're not going to just gloss over that.
Rico on my shit.
Listen, because E Swift is one of the best producers. So... You saying he cuts hair better than he makes beats?
He was not. He was the dude that he was like a home barber, but everybody wanted to get cuts from him. He used to cut initials.
Home barber and bedroom DJ.
And he had all that shit in one room. But he went over King T's. I think when over Pool House in Santa Monica. I think or somewhere. I wasn't there, but the whole thing was that everything changed overnight because King T. I thought it was Keith Cooley that couldn't make it, but I'm hearing because we homies with Aladdin, DJ Aladdin.
Yeah. Shout out to DJ.
And I heard Tila tell the story. He was like, DJ Aladdin was Aladdin. He got into this car accident that I knew about and broke his legs. And I knew about that, but I didn't think that was the same. I'm confused about that part. But King T needed a DJ. He had some turntables at the house that he was cutting his hair at, and did an audition right there and got hired on the spot. Swift, I was living with Swift. He came back to the crib and said, "Nigga, I'm packing my shit. Nigga, I'm going on tour with Scarface and King T and NWA and he left, and I think that's what really set us up for, you know, the next step of, because we was making demos and shit.
Yeah.
But when he started DJing for Tila, then we got action. We all in the same gang video. We all in the
Word.
you know, going on the road with Tila. And you know, I just wonder what life would have been if that barbershop, I mean, if that connection wasn't made that day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Shout out to King T. Definitely.
I mean, who knows, man? I might have been rich as fuck by now. Who knows? if that didn't happen, who knows?
Who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, but we here though, man. So
No doubt, no doubt.
You think they could tell I've been smoking, man?
What you say?
I've been smoking Smokeaholics.
Now, shout out to the Wu-Tang, shout out to RZA. Recently we were in the Miami area doing the show, and Steve Rifkin was in town, and RZA did this whole speech and brought Steve Rifkin out and talked about...
I saw that.
You saw that? Okay, he talked about the difference between having an executive who cares about the music and the artist versus someone who just is corporate and doesn't. Is that your same experience with Steve Rifkin?
Definitely. Steve, you know, I know his family. I know he comes from a musical background with his pops Jules and everything. But Steve, one thing I say about it is Steve was definitely hands-on when it came to he wasn't hands-on in making the music, but he knew dope from whack. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he would not he wanted you to be yourself. And I saw, I think every artist that was on Loud, he gave you the leeway. He would just give you the budget and just say, turn in whatever y'all want to, because I know it's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't know too many executives like that.
Is it safe to say that y'all were the first successful group on Loud?
Yeah. I mean, you know,
It seems that way to me.
I mean, yeah, we opened the doors definitely for Loud. I mean, they say it all the time, you know, because there was a group on there called Madcap that you can't forget about. But I don't know what their numbers and shit was, but I just know that when people in Los Angeles, California heard the name The Alkaholiks, and then they heard the music that go with that, everything just changed. You know what I'm saying? Everything started going up. Loud, phones started ringing, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Then, you know, right after us came Wu-Tang. That was us, the first two groups to really make some noise. I think Twista was signed to Loud, and he never put nothing out. I don't remember him putting nothing out.
Was it Speed Not Mobsters? That came later, right?
They was on Loud?
No, that's Twista's group. That was later.
Oh, okay. Nah, because I heard that he wasn't happy with Loud, so he didn't even put nothing out. He just bounced to another label or something. I don't know the story, but I just know that we when we came out, everybody called us the first group on Loud. And I'm trying to tell, nah, it was two. But pretty soon it just got out there that, you know, we was we kicked in the door for Loud, you know.
Word up.
And then came Wu-Tang, Big Pun,
Right.
Mobb Deep,
Right.
Exhibit, da-da-da. It just kept going, man. Like,
Yeah, you worked with so many members of Wu-Tang. Especially ODB. It was a huge record.
Out of all them, that's what I was closest to.
Right, y'all did that song in the booth together, huh?
Yeah, we did the old school, like the singers used to, you know what I'm saying, get around one microphone and sing. We did that. That was crazy. That was unheard of at the time.
Right.
Now I think about it.
Right. Shout out to ODB.
Yeah, shout out to his family and
yeah, shout out to YDB too. He's doing an amazing job on this tour.
yes, that's he looked just like Pops. You know what I'm saying?
He got the essence, and he still got his own thing going on. It's dope to see. Now I want to talk about Coast to Coast because this is an album that for me was very special. It had a huge influence over how I rhyme, over how I hear beats. Next Level with Diamond D. Fuck me up. Never heard no shit like that.
Yeah, shout out to Diamond, man. Shout out to the whole DITC.
Said real good. You know? That shit was crazy, bro. I feel like 21 and over was, I know that, you know, King T gave y'all the name The Alkaholiks. And there was a lot of references to, on 21 and over, we're the alcoholics. And this is about drinking. And then I feel like it was less of that on Coast to Coast. WLIX. Felt like you at the lunchroom table in a high school. Shout out to Luke Pack, Madlib, and Jack, Wild Child. Now, if it wasn't for this album, Coast to Coast, obviously I do a lot of work with Madlib, and Jack is on my album as well, and I'm a huge Luke Pack fan. But I heard of them because of the Alkaholiks. I heard of them because, like, when I put this album on, and this was very gracious, this was very gracious for the Alkaholiks album to come on, and the first voice you hear is somebody who's not in Alkaholiks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that. I was like, oh, okay, they have a lot of faith in this in these dudes.
Yeah, that was kind of, well, like you heard of the Liquid Crew, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We were the first ones to really, how do I describe it? Like, see certain things in certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to build this Liquid Crew thing that King T started. I thought of the name Liquid though, but anyway. But King T wanted to form this, this alliance and everything. And I just think that we just like the rawness of Madlib. We like the rawness of Jack, the rawness of the exhibits, the rawness of, because it was like LA at one point. Everybody was pretty much rapping the same because it was popular to gangbang on wax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you was an underground cat like us or me or whatever, it's hard to get in a lot of doors. But we saw a lot of. A shout out to Defari too. That's one of the most.
Shout out to Defari Hayru.
Slept on.
He's one of the. I love the fact that he comes from that teacher background, but also come from the streets. He come from the MC background. Like he's all of these things in one.
Inglewood's finest. Yes.
Yeah. So now my man J-Ro. This is for me, a phenomenal and complete MC. He said things that made me be like, it must be a local motive. A crazy reason, this type of shit. Like, that album in particular, the Coast to Coast, 2014 fucked me up. It seems to me is like steel sharpens steel. Can you describe your lyrical relationship with J-Ro?
We don't really got a lyrical relationship. He be doing his shit, I be doing mine, and we just come together. Like, I don't think we even talk about, like, concepts and shit. It's like Swift will make a beat. I'll go do my shit acapella, then J-Ro have his shit, sitting on the hip, have his shit ready. And we just put whatever we thought on there, and they so different, you know what I'm saying? And we think that's all we used to do was really MC on the records, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We used to have people saying, we used to say shit like, say ho on the record, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you listen to it, you say, oh, and this and that.
There's a lot of production value and extra party shit to add on to what Alkaholiks is for me, has always been a group that has an underground hip-hop lyricist, lyrical vibe. I was watching y'all Drink Champs, and you questioned when EFN said, lyricist. You said, am I a lyricist? I rap about partying and drinking beer.
Yeah,
and I thought that was interesting that you framed it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I consider you a lyricist too. I consider Alkaholiks a lyrical group. But it's the same shit with like a Slum Village, right? Where people will be like, oh yeah, people will be like, I love that positive, conscious, hip, lyrical hip hop like Slum Village. And these niggas was rhyming about, let's have a 3-screw and going to the strip club and I got a big truck and I'm making money and I'm a Detroit player and this is the type of shit. But because the music sounds so good, it has this vibe that what you were talking about, like this like 90s vibe, certain type of hip hop vibe. It has this vibe that the vibe feels so good. You don't even. Niggas could be saying some pimp shit and it just still feel good.
Yeah, but see, I think that when people say lyrical, I think that a lot of times all you got to do is just use a bunch of big words and you're more lyrical than the next, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like loquacious.
Yeah, like loquacious that you still don't know what the hell means. I think you made this shit up, but I never heard of it before. It's not like somebody name, middle name or something.
Is it like a ghetto middle name?
But yes, what was I saying? But J-Wo, yeah, you got me thinking about what the fuck is a loquacious.
Loquacious, come here.
Oh man,
Come outside, loquacious.
Oh man, smokeaholic. But I just think that when MC like there's an MC right now out of San Diego, Mitchie Slick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mitchie Slick is a good friend of mine.
He's another one that I stepped in early in his career and I just saw something that I was like, he's the hardest gangster rapper
Yeah.
But him and J.O. Felony get it up. Yeah, they lyrical, you know what I'm saying? But they just talk about different shit than MCs do. But that, that's what I'm saying. Is how hard you concentrate on your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that makes you the lyrical.
Now I want to talk about your impact on my career personally. Beyond the fact that I was listening to these early alcoholic records, You helped legitimize Rawkus by doing Body Rock with Yasin Bey and Q-Tip.
Shout out to Yasin Bey, man. I ain't seen him since that video, but
He be
I love him
around.
to death. I love him to death.
Yeah, he
though,
be
man.
around. You were instrumental in that because you were a standard bearer for us at that time. And it's like if you could get Tash on a record, and then it was crossing, it was keeping everything vibrant because the West Coast was now people were starting to take the West Coast more seriously in terms of lyrics, and you were a huge part of that. And then you and me we were running around together.
Yeah, we got memories, man. We linked up around that time and everything, and I remember that time we went to the Stretch and Barbados show with Myka 9 and all that.
Shout out to Myka 9.
Yeah, shout out Myka 9. That's my boy, man.
One of my favorite people who I've been beefing with lately. I don't know if you call it beef, but I don't like a lot of stuff he been doing.
What is that about? Because I saw something and it came and it went so quick that I was like, that can't be a serious beef.
I never talked about it.
That's like
on the
brothers getting
podcast.
mad
I've
for a
only
day.
talked about it online, like in comment sections and whatnot, which I do a lot of talking in comment sections. But I never talked about it here on the podcast. But so you
Let me say something real quick because just tell me, is this true? You ain't dissed the West Coast, did you?
No, how ridiculous would that be?
Okay, that's what I heard was
And
the
see,
beef.
That's interesting that you said that because, we all adults here. Like, think about who I am. I'm not saying you. I'm just talking about the average person. Because you heard that, right?
Yeah.
Think about who I am, what I have stood for in the culture. The fact that I lived in the West Coast. I put out Strong Arm Steady, put out records with Mitchie Slick.
That's why I was confused.
This is my point I'm making. It should confuse you. And to anyone who knows anything about me or anything about hip hop, well, that should confuse them. The fact that anybody would not only spread that lie, but then people will believe that lie, well, that's confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing with Myka 9 is like, let's deal with the facts first. The facts is Myka 9 is one of the greatest MCs I've ever heard.
Period.
One of the best I've ever heard do it. He's absolutely, I would consider him professionally, lyrically, a mentor of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, Myka 9 was in my life early. I met him when before I got famous, he was living in Brooklyn. And I met him and I'm like, oh shit, you Myka 9 for Freestyle Fellowship. And I was listening to Freestyle Fellowship every day.
Me too.
And when I first started taking MC seriously, I took a Greyhound bus 3 days
Damn.
to go to the Good Life Cafe.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? So
3 days.
I'm giving you all this context to see why it's so ridiculous. That's, you know what I'm saying? That someone would say, I'm trying to diss the West Coast when I got so much respect for not just Myka 9, but for Freestyle Fellowship.
Did you do a diss record?
I did a record where I talked about Myka 9. I wouldn't consider it a diss record. I have a diss record I ain't put out.
What are y'all beefing about then? Because
I'm telling you.
Okay.
So I'm giving you context of who Myka 9 is to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, that's who he was.
You was just big up in him. Then you say, yeah, I got a diss record, but I ain't put it out yet.
Well, because I didn't put it out because I got respect for him.
Okay.
And this record is too good. Myka 9, you was in a group with Born Allah.
Right.
Disturbing
the Peace.
Right. And that's Project Blowed, right? Or like Good Life Era.
Yeah, definitely.
Good Life MC. There's a guy from there called Rifleman.
No Rifleman, yeah.
I never heard of him before. He started trolling me on Twitter, and I asked him why he was trolling me, and he said because I had stopped him. He was handing out a flyer at a party, and he called a girl a bitch, and he was arguing with a girl, and I came out and I tried to stop the argument. Now I don't remember doing this. But he said I did this 15 years. I said, when this happened? I said 15 years ago. And then he's like, yeah, ask Myka 9 about me. So I asked Myka 9 about him. Mike is like, yeah, that's my homeboy. And so Micah's thing was like, it's between y'all. And I didn't appreciate that for Mike. Because how I felt about it was, and Rifleman is a very aggressive dude. So he was threatening me. You know what I'm saying? You can't come around here, target on your back type of shit. This dude did 3 diss songs about me. You know what I'm saying? So your man threatening me and got 3 diss songs about me. I don't feel like I should have you in my life. I have to have boundaries. I don't feel like I can have you around me because you might have this nigga around you. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
So that's what it was. And so that's what it was. And so then I spoke about that on a record. I didn't mention anybody's name. I just said I have a friend who I felt like was disloyal to me and didn't treat me like a friend. And they figured it out. And then these dudes made like 15 diss records about me. But in the diss records they made about me, here's the real problem I have with it. Hip hop is hip hop, right? You don't gotta like a nigga. You can make a diss record about a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop. You got some shit going on yourself with Casual.
Nah, this shit been over with, but
it's over
that
with.
was a misunderstanding.
I'm glad to hear that. But but there was diss records made. Niggas make diss records with, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that bothered me about the Project Blow situation is these dudes in this diss records is calling me a child molester and saying I rape women and all this type of shit that are rumors on the internet that racists have started. So that they're on the internet talking to trolls and putting shit out there about me that has nothing to do with hip hop, nothing to do with what they say they're mad at me about, just straight lies to, smear me.
But where they get that from? They just made it up? They just made it up? Or what's it?
It's for people making it up on the internet. That's my issue.
You rape somebody who came up on the internet? What's it talking about? I'm confused again.
Okay. Well, there's
I mean, because you're on MCs, that's what you're supposed to do. Is if you're in a battle or you're in a beef or you're in this, you say the most disrespectful shit. But I'm asking you, is the shit true or not true? Or they got it on the internet because it's out there?
Well, again, Tash, I would point to who I am as a person and point to who I am at you.
I ain't never heard that in my life, but
right. And why would you hear that? Because it's obviously not true. Like it should be out. People's first thought shouldn't be, did you do that? People's first thought should be, that's outrageous. You know what I'm saying? That's outrageous. That's what people's first thought should be because they're offering this information with zero proof. What you just saying that this is what it is.
But I'm saying MCs
I'm gonna tell you
be
what
saying white out shit. They might talk about your mama, talk about your kids, might talk about this. So that's what.
If you're saying true shit.
I don't know. I just know I love both you guys, and what I mean by Myka 9 is an incredible MC. I don't know Rightful Man that well, but I met him a couple of times, and he's a cool motherfucker, man.
Myka's an amazing MC.
Yeah,
and he uses MC powers for evil when he says that I raped somebody. He made a record about me.
Oh, that's who said that?
Myka, his whole crew, 2Mex. They call me Kweli Cosby is what they call me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, big
There
stuff,
was a racist named Turtle Boy Sports, right? This is 15 years ago. Turtle Boy Sports is racist in Boston with a racist blog, and he was sexually harassing a woman. And he was trolling me. I found out about it. I put it out there that he was sexually harassing a woman. This racist makes a WordPress site makes it look like a newspaper and puts up a story that says Talib Kweli raped a 14-year-old boy. Clearly it's not true. It's just some shit he did on the internet. But because I go at racists all the time, these racists have taken this story and they spread it around like it's true. So when one of these MCs feels like they have a problem with me, that's what they saying. So when you asking that's where they get it from, that's where they get it from. So what they doing is they align it with racist trolls.
This internet shit is way out, man. Because that's like the worst shit you could call a motherfucker, man. A rapist, a child boy rapist.
Yeah, that's what they saying.
That's some shit that you do not want to be called ever, nigga. I don't give a fuck if you rapping, not rapping, this and that. but
that's
damn.
what they on. But and that's not hip hop to me.
Right.
That's not hip hop. If you want to say some shit that's true, you don't like my rhyme style, you think Mos Def is better. I've heard it all. I'm not mad. None of that shit faze me. But when you out here talking about I'm raping children, that's a different level.
That could get you killed, nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, that's what it is. It's lynching.
But
that's what it is. It's language set up, especially for black men. It's language set up to try to get us lynched, whether it's digitally lynched or actually lynched.
Well, I hope y'all work that out, man, because y'all the positive brothers in this game, and y'all talk about some crazy shit, man.
Hey, ain't no y'all.
But I'll tell you
like I said, I got a diss record, and I might play you just diss record when the camera's off. Everything.
No, man, I don't want to hear you dissing my homeboy. Nigga, I'm about to
everything I said in my diss record is true. Nothing I said is about nobody's relationships or no type of lies.
I don't want to hear because I ain't playing no fence. I know that. I've known you for what,
it's
30
years?
It's a good record,
though.
30 years.
It's a good hip-hop record.
I know Myka 9 and the Freestyle Fellowship. Shout out to all of them, man. Jupiter, AC Alone.
Yeah, and like I said, I got respect for that crew. They wanted the best to ever do it, and they had a huge influence on me. But you're not going to say I rape kids. That's what you're not going to do.
That's
anyway.
fucked up, man. That is a jacket you do not want to wear.
Yeah, anyway.
Nigga. But I didn't know nothing about that shit.
Yeah.
I just hope y'all work it out and let's get back to this hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Speaking of this hip hop, let's talk about rap life. Do you feel like with rap life, it had a more West Coast vibe than the earlier music?
Did it have a more West Coast vibe? Yeah, I think so. But see, that was intentional.
You said it was unintentional?
No, it was intentional.
It was intentional.
Intentional,
I felt like it was intentional.
Yeah, because like the whole thing was like, I'm trying to think of that album. The whole thing was like this, like the Alkaholiks had an underground hip hop sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I was more into the funk, and I was more into the I ain't gonna say I was into the streets or the street, I wasn't even doing nothing but talking about Flashy Tashy, the flyest rapper you ever saw. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Flashy Tashy.
But to do that, you gotta talk about everything that, come with that. So, it just had a whole different vibe. I got a lot of love for doing. Well, actually, I'm gonna tell you how we ended up doing this song. You heard the one with Snoop, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Jesus G's with the
G's,
Zibit.
yeah.
Okay, really, I had this one song called, what was it called? I forgot the name of it. I got a beat from Rockweiler. And I said, when you was falling on, catastrophe was falling on,
Falling on.
Yeah, falling on, that's the name of it. But I ended up, I don't know if I let too many people, I ain't even gonna go into all that, but that was supposed to be my single. Loud Records loved it. Everybody was digging and grooving. And then Snoop and them came out with it, the same beat. You know what I'm saying?
The same sample, yeah.
So that kind of threw the monkey wrench and everything. So I had to switch up singles, blah, blah, blah. And so my first single ended up coming out Rap Life with Raekwon, you know what I mean? And the first single was just me by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, that's kind of weak coming out with a single with a Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? That's your first single. I want to stand on my own and then get the respect, then put out shit, you know what I'm saying? But that shit ended up doing real good. And I just felt like I abandoned my West Coast roots, going to get a New York rapper, New York producer, da-da-da-da-da, I'm on Loud, a New York label.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said I wanted to come back and give the same love to the West. So I did a remix to Battle Cat. Shout out to Battle Cat. I was with him the other night.
Shout out to
Battle Cat. Battle Cat did me that beat, and it just seemed like that's where I wanted to go with it. You know what I'm saying? So I started making, songs like with LV and, just different people from LA to just get a balance. If you listen to that album, it's equally balanced with the West and the East.
Yeah.
And that was intentional.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Phil the Agony.
Yeah, it's cousin Phil. What's up, Phil?
Rollo ass Phil.
Rollo ass. Oh man.
You had him on Rockin' with the Best.
Mm-hmm.
But online on Spotify, that song is credited. It says Styles P.
What, Rockin' with the Best?
It does. It says it's featuring Styles P. Instead of Phil.
Oh nah, Stylistic Jones is in the Liquid crew, but they ain't.
I don't know. It says Styles P.
I ain't never even met Styles P, so I don't know what they talking about.
You got Phil the Agony on a song with Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
You one of the rare MCs that got a record with Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. How did that come together with the Outkast and the Be Real? And
I think I just wanted to do a song with Outkast, and I knew some people because I used to get a lot of love from the whole Dungeon family.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Atlanta, join Freaknik, and they'd take me to their parties and this and that, Rico Wade and all these guys and shit.
Shout out to Dungeon family.
Yeah, Dungeon family. I just did a song with Big Rube and shit.
Okay, word up. Shout out to Rube.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Sam and Rube. Some killer. But anyway, basically we reached out to him and this and that. And the funny part about that song, if you really listen to the song, I told Phil the Agony before, if you know the words to it, I say catastrophe, I shoot it through, dipped in 24 carats, and I go into this long-ass spiel about Tash is this, Tash is that, Tash Tash is up, Tash is down, Tash is swinging off the chandeliers, Tash is... And I told Phil the Agony, I said, look, nigga, the niggas we on this song with, they famous. I said, we're not. I said, I'm about to say my name 15 times in this rap. And I said, I suggest you do the same. Yep. I said, because by the time this song is over with, they gonna know our name. And then Phil with it there, Phil the Agony, look how many times he said Phil in the rap.
He said it a bunch.
But I think that I might be the first rapper to say my name 19 times in one rap. And Phil the second one.
Yeah, look, these niggas is famous. That's funny. You also work with the Neptunes, very, very, very famous group. Mm. I got a single with the Neptunes. I got a song with the Neptunes, but I couldn't get the label to clear it for a single.
Nah.
Y'all joint became a single.
Mm.
This was a departure in sound, that project in general, XO Experience. And in the name, it was the Licks instead of the Alkaholiks, right? For that project. Right. Was there any feedback that was either constructive or that you felt like was negative from fans from going that route?
I mean, yeah, because we changed the name to the, I forgot the reason why we changed it to the Licks. We was getting flack, man. We couldn't do a lot of shit. Like we went on tour with like I was telling you with the Tribe Called Quest De La Soul tour, we couldn't even do the shows in the Bible Belt. Cause they was like, we ain't fucking with no, I mean, they ain't say fucking, but they said we ain't messing with the name, the alcoholics. We got too many real alcoholics out here, whatever it was. They wouldn't let us perform. And then we, like, it was just little shit. Like they booked us to do Soul Train, and we go to Soul Train to, I bought some new shit, and we pull up in the limo, and we in the dressing room, we getting ready, and we hype, and we told our mamas to tune in and all this shit. And the next thing you know, some lady came and knocked on the door and said, hey, man, Don Cornelius just heard the name, man. He can't fuck with the alcoholics, man. Y'all, and send us home. You know what I'm saying? So we was getting shit like that. And then get playing this shit on the radio. They saying alcoholics. That was a bad thing at the time. So basically, somebody came up with, when they call y'all the Licks anyway.
Y'all was saying it's the Licks, baby, from early.
Yeah, that was the first song we did.
Yeah.
It was the Licks, baby. It's the Licks. But we caught a lot of flack from the fans because they thought we was just trying to go pop because we did this song with Pharrell. And I ain't gonna lie, Pharrell really pushed that beat on us. You know what I'm saying? No, actually, no, he didn't. I think he only made one beat for us. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of them, you gonna love this beat. I'm gonna make y'all superstars with this beat and all this. And then I heard it and I was like, that don't really sound like us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really feeling it like that. And this and that. But like I said, we had no choice. We only had one beat for me. So,
either you take.
And he kept telling us, man. He was like, man, when you do this shit, the girls.
You know what's crazy? It's the same thing with me. My song was not a pop song. My song was like a street story. But I remember Pharrell definitely sold me that beat. Like, this is the beat for you.
Yeah, we flew out to his thing. We flew to Virginia to do that song and everything. And I remember Pusha T was there taking me around to the liquor stores and he took me somewhere, I forgot. But he wasn't even out yet, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what I was saying because we heard like Nori, Super Thug, we heard all these hard beats behind. And as soon as we got back, that's right when what was the one by the Neptunes, the first one?
Grinding.
The Grinding beat came out, and I was like, nigga,
They had that first record, the Funeral Joint, right?
Why didn't he give us that beat?
But then they repurposed the clips, and it came out with that Grinding shit.
That just sounded like some alcoholic shit to me for some reason. I also like, man, we tripped. We should have had to just make another beat just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or do something, because I was listening to him, and I was like, I don't know. The song had to grow on me, I guess, but... Pharrell kept guaranteeing us that the girls were gonna get naked to that song, and they definitely did. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the foot. We did like a documentary thing when we first did the song, and we let it be known that Pharrell told us to tell all the girls to take the clothes off or get on stage and strip. I forgot what it was, but it was that song really. Really got a lot of people naked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Pharrell didn't tell no lies then.
Nah, he wasn't lying at all. And people trip because they don't realize that we put out all these albums and that song sold the most.
That makes sense.
All the shit we did with Swift and with all these other people, that sold the most.
Yeah, that's how it go.
Yeah, that's how it go. The album didn't sell the most, but the song did.
Right. Now, the name of the group is the Alkaholiks. You talk about having problems with it. And Under 21, you talk about going up to the kids, and they're the kids of the future.
21 and under?
Under 21, the song.
Yeah, 21 and under.
20.
Oh, it's called Under 21?
There's a song called Under 21.
Oh, I thought it was called 21 and under. Okay.
On the second album.
Okay,
and you talk about the, that's the nigga from the Licks, Let's Crack a 40 with him. That song.
True story.
That's a true story. And that was in Columbus.
When I used to go back and visit,
in Columbus.
Summers and shit, and I went back there and that happened. You know what I'm saying? And I felt weird because the kids was really drinking 40s at a young age.
And you in the Alkaholiks.
Yeah, and I was just like, damn, it's my hood. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing new, but I put it in a rap, and it just people really liked it. Because I put Columbus on the map with them.
Right, but I've heard you talk about how the lifestyle of fans coming up to you and wanting to drink with you and take pictures and having to drink with you all the time and having the drinks in the dressing room. And I didn't start drinking alcohol. I drank 40s when I was in high school for a year, in freshman year, until I threw up on a city bus. And then I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah, some people like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. And then when I started rapping for a living, that's when I started drinking. I didn't drink before then. When I started touring and having to promote the record, being in clubs and all that lifestyle, fucking with High Tech and them, started drinking some Hennessy and some fucking Grey Goose and all that early in my career. Like, it took me a minute. I still drink now. I'm not. You going through a sobriety journey.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, and I'm not there yet. But I do. I have that pressure put on me as Talib Kweli, the conscious MC.
Right.
So I can't imagine what that pressure would be like for Rico from the Alkaholiks. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the whole thing is that alcohol is a drug, you know what I'm saying? Just like anything else. So is cigarettes, so is, a lot of different things as drugs. And, basically it was like I said, in a couple of different interviews and shit like that, just imagine if if you see your favorite rapper and they portray this image, you know what I'm saying? See, everything was we had a lot of white fans, you know what I'm saying? And they really took that party and shit seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like, they put you to the side, like, hey, drink this beer out the funnel and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? We like, what the fuck? And everything. We was on the Warped Tour, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
I was on the Warped Tour too.
With Fishbone and
I did that too.
everybody on the tour drunk.
Yeah.
Everybody, this and that. We was just living that rock star lifestyle or whatever. And it snatched me, man, because at first, you know what I'm saying, the first couple years and everything was cool. I really didn't notice I really had a problem until way later down, you know what I mean? Like until probably 2010 or some shit like that. And I was like, wow, this is really getting out of control, Because the whole thing is that when you're young and you have relatively young, you know what I'm saying? Not teeny bopper, but, when you're young enough to have fun with the money that you're making and you really don't have a lot of responsibilities per se. When my kids, started being born, that's when, I started slowing down, and then pick back up. And then just out of my age and everything, I just couldn't move like I wanted to and everything. And people starting to notice that you declining, you know what I'm saying? Because I would go to do a show, right? And I would get some money from them, they give you cash back then and everything. So I get the cash and everything, put it in my pocket. Plane leaves the next day in the morning and shit like that. I'd be like, fuck that, man. Where we at, Miami? And I would just stay a week spending the money that I just made on the show, you know what I'm saying? I ended up moving to Miami because of that. I just got drunk and liked this place and it was right on the beach and I had it and just, stuff like that. You wish you had that money back now, but, some of the best times of my life, but everything has to come to an end before you come to an end.
That's right.
And to tell you the truth, man, a lot of great shit been happening since then. So
that's beautiful.
I encourage anybody to make that step.
Yeah, you talked about your kids, and I've heard you talk about your family before, and I think it's dope how the family nurturing energy is part of what helped you make that decision. Yeah. My mom was trying to get me in a rehab before and all this shit, and I was like, damn, if your mama's trying to help you and you ain't trying to help yourself, then it's just one of them decisions you got to make, because everybody knew me from that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to come to my house because my house was... Yeah, it's like part of your identity, right?
Yeah, everybody, when I bought the house in Vegas, for instance, like, it was like a damn frat house, you know what I'm saying? And people used to come to town and they already knew, fuck the strip, fuck the hotels, we stay in the Tash house, and they would come for a week and just jump in my pool and drink and smoke and other drugs there, and it just got out of control, man, but... I ain't gonna keep telling the same story. I'm good to go now. And, thank you to everybody that helped me, kick my little habit, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't touched a drink in 4 years. Well, it'd be 4 years in March.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. And I love the fact that you were able, the duality of being an artist, you're able to still, like, Alkaholiks as a hip-hop group is a beautiful thing. And the fact that y'all still are able to do shows and powwow together. And the fact that you got Smokeaholics now, which you've mentioned a couple times, because we partook.
Yes, we did. That's why we talking like this. but yeah, man.
Tell us about Smokeaholics.
Actually, I'm revamping that right now. The Alkaholiks, and what we did was took the concept of the Alkaholiks, and we realized we didn't drink like we used to. Well, I don't drink at all. J-Wo don't drink. I don't know what Swift be doing, but we saw an opportunity because weed is legal now. We live in legal states, California, Vegas. And we just took the name, changed it to took the name Alkaholiks, revamped it, put the Smokeaholics. We about to. I got 2 situations, so I ain't gonna tell you where I'm going with it yet. But Smokeaholics will be in a lot of dispensaries coming up very shortly. Top of the year.
No doubt. And we can't just talk about the smoke. We also got to talk about the music. I told you I wanted to play you some music, so I definitely want to play
You ain't playing me nothing dissing my homeboys, man.
Oh, no, I'm not playing you that one. We're not playing that one. I'm playing. We passed that one. We got past that one. I'm going to play you some music, though, but you have new music that you've been working on?
Yeah.
That I would like
I got a
to hear
bunch
you
of
speak.
shit.
Yeah.
I got because the whole thing is I was in like I said, I was during the pandemic and all this and everything. I got this little app on my phone. I ain't gonna shout them out because they owe me some money because I done told everybody about it and they, never mind, long story. But this app that I got, I probably got about 70 songs in there. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy just to record yourself and everything. So basically my situation that the newest music you're gonna hear from us, the Alkaholiks, is we have a beer coming out January 29th. And if you're in town, man, come to the beer launch January 29th, the Alkaholiks in Evidence, downtown LA.
That sounds like a good time.
Yes, it's gonna
Shout
be great.
out to Ev.
Yep, shout out Ev. But we're gonna we got a QR. Shout out to Twin too from Mob D. I mean from Infamous Mob.
Yeah, shout out to Twin.
He got Infamous Beer, but he's a big part of what we're doing. And what we're gonna do is put the QR code on the side of the cans. So if you want to hear some new Alkaholiks, new Tash, this and that, you can buy the beer. Or I'm about to set up. I got a website that I'm about to drop that I'm gonna be a one-stop shop. If you like the Live Victorious gear that we, coming with, if you like the music, if you like the weed, if you like the concerts, the merch, you want a Tash tray, an ashtray with my face on it, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a one-stop shop to really sell everything I'm doing, and the Tash tray. Before you go out of town, what you need? You need your Tashport. If a nigga whack, what you doing? In a Tash can.
And the Tash.
If you're doing 3 things at once, what you doing? Multitasking it.
Well, shout out to my man Tash. I got the Live Victorious joint on right now with the cap. As you see, I'm styling and profiling.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Just Live Victorious too. Just Live Victorious. Shout out Pac too, man. I get a lot of compliments on this shirt right here.
That's a good one.
That's what's up, man.
No doubt.
Shout out Edie, Outlaws.
Yes, indeed. Well, the People's Party is proud to have my guy, Rico.
Hey, man.
Tash your feet.
Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody that fucked with us from day one, man. The Alkaholiks, we still here, man. Thanks to this brother, man, Talib Kweli, for having me. You know what it is, man. It's a West Coast thing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.